Black frame insertion. Black frame insertion. Black frame insertion. Hello everyone, Vincent Teo from HDTV Test here. I'm behind closed doors in LG's booth, where I have access to all the 2018 range of OLED television from the South Korean brand. So as you are probably aware, the company has developed a new processor for their 2018 range of premium television, and the top-end processor is going to be known as the Alpha 9. Now, previously I've referred to it as the A9, but LG has come back to me and said that Alpha 9 is the correct way to actually pronounce it, so maybe you would like to pronounce it as such. So the Alpha 9 will reside in the C8, the E8, the G8, and also the flagship wallpaper W8 OLED television. And the entry-level B8 will be using Alpha 7 processor, which is not really very different from the processor, the M16P chip used in the 2017 sets, such as the B7, C7, E7, and G7 and W7. So the Alpha 9 processor, I've been informed that it has 33% more processing power than the Alpha 7 or M16P chip, and it has 50% more RAM to allow for smoother processing. And also the Alpha 9 processor will be carrying out a 4-step upscaling and color gradation, which will hopefully create a much smoother, much cleaner image. And so I'm going to run you through the range of OLED television from LG for the year 2018. Let's start with the B8. So the B8 is going to have essentially the same design as last year's C7, with a central alpine stand that has a relatively small footprint and a black bezel as well. And let's move up to the C8, and for the first time we are seeing the 77-inch C8 in this room here. You can see that it has a U-shaped stand which is fairly wide, and the speaker is actually down firing. They call it acoustic technology, and I clarified with them whether this is similar to the acoustic surface technology that Sony is using on their A1 or AF8 OLED, but it is not. And surprisingly for such a large screen, because it was running some sort of AutoCal program, and occasionally during intervals there's some dark gray slides, and I couldn't really see any bending. So, but again, this is a very bright room. It's not fair to make judgment, so we'll make the correct assessment when we receive a sample in our test environment. And let's move on to the E8. I've talked to you about this before. It is a picture on glass design with the glass extending almost all the way to touch the surface on which you are going to place the television, and it has an inclined alpine stand as well. And the soundbar is actually slimmer than last year's, but still produce the same audio output. And next we move up to the G8, which I have beside me today here, and this is the first time I've cast eye on it. You can see that it's a slim OLED panel that sits upright, and there's a glass extension that slants slightly forward here, and then embedded within the glass extension is the sound base that has this LG signature emblem on the right of the sound base. It looks a really premium product which befits the LG signature branding. Then the next step up obviously is the wallpaper W8, which doesn't really have much change in terms of the aesthetics versus last year's W7. And why should it change? Because, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It can be hung on the wall, and there's a speaker box, Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision capable. And another thing that I wanted to clarify is that in terms of, obviously you may have seen another video that we shot, that the 2018 LG OLED will, for the first time in their history, offer black frame insertion, which to me is extremely exciting, because black frame insertion allows the television to improve the motion clarity without incurring interpolation artifacts or soap opera effect. And the last thing I want to say is in terms of the AI and also the Google Assistant compatibility. Now, I have received a demo of the ThinQ AI, and it's brilliant. It uses natural language, but I've been informed that most of it is only available in the US, and I'm not sure how much will actually filter to the UK and European territory. So I'm not going to say anything about it. But in terms of the Google Assistant control, what I know for sure is that Google Assistant will be baked in on the US version, but in UK and Europe, it is only labeled as compatible, which means that you will have to have a Google Home device before you can use Google Assistant control on these LG 2018 OLEDs. And one last thing is that the LG G8 will be available in the UK and Europe, but not in the US at this moment in time. Thank you for watching. This is Vincent Teo here reporting from CES, and I'll see you in the next video. Black frame insertion.